Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm super excited because today is the first challenge video for the hashtag Autumn Days events. I revealed my new kit yesterday, so this is the new kit, Autumn Days. It has 21 pages, very whimsical, lots of watercolours, not really the usual vintage that I normally do, but that's what I quite like about it. Lovely colours, very autumnal. I explained yesterday that as well as releasing my kit, there will be different challenges being hosted in the Line.Arrow Facebook group. So that's what I'm here to reveal today, the first challenge. So just to explain, those of you that are not familiar, if you haven't been part of the Line.Arrow Facebook group for long, each month Natalie normally has a new kit release and then has different challenges each week, and then a winner's drawing at the end for those that have participated. Well, this month she's allowing me to promote my new kit and run the challenges. So all of the freebies that will be available for each of the challenges will be linked to this kit, Autumn Days. As usual, there will be 3 challenges. So each week, for the next 3 weeks, there will be a different challenge and a new set of freebies to go with that challenge. And then the last few days of October will be a kind of catch up, finishing off week, and then everybody that has posted their makes and used the hashtag Autumn Days, then you will be entered into a winner's drawing at the end where you can win a kit for free from my shop. It is important that you use the hashtag though, because that's how I'll be finding your post at the end of the month when it comes to me tallying up the names. So whenever you post in the Facebook group, if you have used either the kit or the freebies, make sure you're using that hashtag and then you will be in the winner's drawing. Okay, so before I explain this week's challenge, I just want to share with you this week's freebies. So as I said, they link nicely with the main kit, and you can do these challenges with just the freebies. So this week we have 2 background pages. So this is the first one. So lots of autumn leaves. You've got umbrellas, you've got tickets, a bit of script, and a few cartwheels. And that's the first page. The second one, a bit more brighter and colourful. I really love the toadstools and then the people in their jackets, because as we know, it's starting to get a lot cooler now. And then obviously we've got the pumpkins and the umbrellas again. And the third page for this week, we've got 2 side pockets and a strip of tickets that have been edited. So we've got some leaves and some sleeping animals on there. So they're the 3 pages. Now the task or the challenge for this week is to make a stuffed paper bag. Now you can of course use a pre-made paper bag, one that you already have. I am going to be making my own larger paper bag, but I'm also going to be incorporating this small one because this is quite a small one, but I want to be able to put pockets and things on it. So I'm going to make a bigger one from a piece of paper. So if you don't have a paper bag, I will show you how you can make a faux one, and then we're going to decorate it. And as I say, I'm going to use this one as well just because I love the gold, I love the shine on it, and I think it goes really, really well with the kit. So let's get started with showing you how to make the base. So I'm just trying to decide which one I would like. I think I like this one, so I'm going to go with that one, and I'll use the other sheet for something else in a moment. So I'm just going to get rid of the other pages. Now I have printed, I always print my background pages on 80 GSM paper, and then my ephemera pages, so if it's anything with pockets or tickets or tags and things, I do on 160 GSM, so it's just slightly sturdier. Now because this is going to be a stuffed paper bag, so it's going to have lots of things in it, I ideally want this a little bit thicker. So I've just grabbed some book pages, and actually that's going to fit perfectly. So I'm just going to sort of cut out this bit in the middle, just because obviously where that's a little bit rough, it's going to make it a little bit bumpy. So I'm just going to trim that off slightly because I know that it's wide enough. So I'm just going to trim those bits off, and I'm just going to do that with a pair of scissors. You can of course use a trimmer if you were doing the same sort of thing, but You're not going to see this really because this is the inside of the paper bag. Okay, so I am just going to glue those down. So I've got my glue stick. Okay, so I've just put as much glue down as I can, and then I'm just going to line this up to the edge and just stick this down. As I said, it does not matter if this doesn't look particularly pretty because this is the inside of the paper bag. So I'm just going to rub that down, make sure that is all stuck. Perfect. And then obviously where it is over the edge here, I am just going to trim that off. And on the bottom, do the same. Okay, so to make a paper bag, now I'm sorry if you feel like I'm teaching you to suck eggs, because it's super simple to make your own paper bag, but essentially you want to have your kind of whatever's going to be on your outside facing down. Then you're just going to fold over about a third of the way, maybe just over, and then make a crease. Then I'm going to fold over again, but if you look at the edge of this pattern paper, so it kind of looks a bit more roughly on these last ones, and it's the same on the other side. I'm literally just going to try and overlap that part. So this side is going to be thinner, but that's fine. But I just want it to overlap slightly. And of course, just make sure it's straight, and then again, making that crease. So you can use a bone folder as well if you want to, but all you want is just that slight overlap. Okay, so just there, it's slightly overlapping. Okay, now that we have done that, I'm going to glue these two parts together. So I'm not going to use a glue stick for that because I just have a cheap glue stick and it's not particularly sticky. But I have recently bought this Barely Art glue. This is reasonably new in the UK now, but it is available on Amazon. So I decided to purchase it because up until now I have been using Kalal glue, which, don't get me wrong, is a fabulous glue, but it is quite smelly. So very much like Fabri-Tac and Beacon 3-in-1, it's quite a smelly glue. So I was trying to find something that didn't stink so much, but still was a really strong glue and held really well, because that's one thing I have to say about the Kalal glue. It sticks incredibly well, and I always put it in one of these small precision bottles, so I still get that nice fine bead. But yeah, like I said, I wanted something that was a little less smelly, so I came across this on Instagram. Barely Art was advertising the fact that they were now available in the UK, so I had a look on Amazon, and yeah, I got myself a bottle. And so far I have to say I'm absolutely impressed, because you only need the teeny tiniest amount. So you look at this bead of glue and you think that is not going to hold anything. That is a tiny amount of glue, but seriously, that is all you need. So I've got a feeling that this glue is going to last me a long time. So while it's slightly more expensive than the Kalal glue that I have been using, I've got a feeling it's going to last me a lot longer. So I'm just going to stick those two sides together. Okay, then now you've done that, you're going to fold up the bottom. Now, because I have made this a bit thicker, because I've now got book page on the inside, I am going to use my scoreboard just to help me score and fold this up. Okay, so I'm just going to flip it over. So it doesn't need to be obviously a huge, great big bit. So I'm just going to go up 1/2 inch. and then just fold it up. Now, as we know, obviously when you've now got bulk here with the thickness of paper, I am going to cut that out a little bit. So I'm just going to come in with my scissors, cut down at an angle, do that on both sides, and then this flap I am just going to cut off. Now it doesn't matter if you don't cut right up to the fold, just so long as you're just trying to get rid of some of that bulk. Okay, so now that that's done, that's just going to make that a little bit easier. I am going to just cut this at a slight angle and do the same on this side. So from the fold, I think I need to do that one a little bit more. That's better. And this bit is optional, but you'll notice, so on here it's got the kind of zigzag edge, and it is a zigzag edge along the bottom as well where it's folded up. I am going to recreate that with my scissors, but that is optional. You don't have to. You could just fold that up, stick it down, and you're done. I am going to use my pinking shears just to snip off that edge, just to kind of give that effect. And I'm going to do it along the top as well. So as I said, this step is optional. I just think it looks pretty cool. Right, so let's get this bottom piece glued down. Okay, I can see that bit sticking up, so I'm just going to snip that off because we don't need you. And snip that side off. There we go, that's better. Right, so I'm going to add again a little bit of glue along here. Fold that over. Give it a good press. And as I say, this glue is very good. It's got a good grab. It doesn't take long for it to dry at all. And it dries clear, which is very nice, especially when you've got teeny tiny little die cuts. I do like to make cards occasionally as well, so it's perfect for that. Right, I'm just going to put the little pin in that came with it so it doesn't dry out. Okay, and then there is your paper bag. Okay, so we're already part way there. Now, I said I wanted to use this as well, so I was thinking of layering this up. The only shame is obviously that I end up covering part of this. I really love the mushrooms, so I'm thinking I may have it part way up like that, and then on this side I could tuck it round and then I've got a pocket. But I also have these pockets. So it's up to you. You could either use these pockets. I think I'm going to use this paper bag, and then I might save these for my actual journal. Let's have a think. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this paper bag. So I'm going to make it smaller. So I've got a paper bag on this side, and then on this side I'm going to have one of my side pockets. That's what I'm going to do. So let's sort this out first. Or I could fold it that way, then I've got pocket. Yes, that's what we'll do. Okay, decision made. So I'm going to fold that back on itself. Give that a crease. Oh, and I've lined that up almost perfectly now, so that looks like a full circle. That was good. That was not intended when I first folded that. Right, so that is going to look like that. So I'll then have a pocket there. I'll have that pocket there. I won't make it a pocket at the back, only because obviously this is quite flimsy. So I am just going to stick that whole thing down. Do I want anything to decorate this? Let's have a look. I'm going to use this because I really like that umbrella. And I've got a ticket in there and it's got some writing. So I'm going to use this to cover the front, just to break up the gold balls. So where's my pencil gone? There it is. About there. And about there. Okay, so let's fold it this way first. Again, you can absolutely use a trimmer. I'm just being super lazy. And then I'm going to fold it back to that line. Awesome. Okay, and then that I'm going to stick onto there. Okay, so that just decorates that a little bit more, because obviously we're ending up covering a lot of this. So that's going to go on there. Now, I have decided, because this isn't vintage, this is more kind of whimsical and colourful, I'm not going to use vintage photo. I have these Versa Magic, they're a chalk ink, and this one's called Pumpkin Spice. So I thought, obviously, it's going to go perfect with this. So I'm just going to use that to ink lightly around the edge. And what I like about it is it's not brown, so it's not making it look vintage. It's got an orange tone to it. So it suits the kit perfectly. It just gives it a little bit of an edge when it's stuck on there. So let's get that stuck down. Right, so that's on there. Then I'm going to stick these two bits down. It's actually a nice way to test out this glue, because obviously where this is a bit sort of shiny material, I can see how well it sticks to this as well as the paper. Seems to be sticking really well, which is really good. Okay, so that's going to go on here. So I'm just going to glue that down. As I said, I'm going to glue the whole thing down. Excellent, that's going to go down there just like that. Okay, where that paper bag's just lifting up at the top there, I'm just going to put a teeny bit of glue, just so obviously that doesn't get caught whenever I'm putting things in and out of the paper bag. Okay. So, good start. So now we have two pockets. Now I have cut out a couple of bits just to kind of check. So we've got a pocket there, and then at the moment we've got the main pocket. So, looking good. Let's try this side then and see what we can do here. So I've got these two pockets. So I'm going to very quickly cut those out. I'm going to use my posh scissors, because they cut a lot better. Okay, so they're my two pockets. Now, as we can already tell, they're quite tall, because obviously where we've had to fold up the bottom of this to make the paper bag, they're not the same height anymore. So I will just trim a little bit off the top and bottoms of them. So I'm just trying to work out where I want to cut. So obviously I want to keep as much of this mug as possible. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off of the bottom. Okay. And then to make this fit, I'm probably going to cut it roughly where those orange squares are there. I'm just going to go just slightly above and snip it there. Okay, so I was thinking about staggering them, but the only thing with that is I'm covering up a lot of this, aren't I? So if I put it that way, I'm completely covering everything. If I have them this way, then at least I've got those two girls there that I can see. Now originally I was thinking of having a stacked pocket. I mean, I could still do a stacked pocket because I can still see the girls, but I'm just thinking you see a bit more if that's not there. So do I want that one or do I want that one? Is that too busy having that? No, I quite like that. Okay, so again, I'm going to use this in my main journal then, and I'll stick with this. So obviously I've cut off the rounded corners, so I've got my corner punch, and I use the largest one for this. And it just gives it a nice big rounded corner when it cuts properly. Okay, and then I'm just going to ink around the edge, and again I'm going to use the pumpkin spice. Again, it's not to make it look vintage, it's just to give it a little bit of colour, and it just kind of makes the pocket stand out a little bit off the background. Okay, so yep, I like that, so I'm going to stick that down. Okay, awesome. So pocket on the back, 2 pockets on the front, then obviously we've got our main paper bag as well. So now we've got the task then of stuffing it. So I'm just going to go and get some different bits and pieces from the kit that we can put inside. Right, okay, so I've got some bits cut out and gathered. So I've got one of the journaling cards from the main kit. I've put one of the tabs on and a little eyelet in. I was thinking that would be perfect to go into this side pocket here. So that's going to go in there. I will add a little bit of ribbon, but I'll do that in a moment. Then obviously we've got these 2 pockets here. Now this is a fun one from the kit. So it's a house. The only thing I wasn't sure if it would actually fit in here. Oh, it does just about. That is perfect. Excellent. So that's going to go in there. I've also got a couple of little tags that I wanted to put in that pocket, and then I've got this string of tickets, but I can obviously use those for something else. They don't necessarily have to go in here. Yeah, I was thinking maybe a belly band, another top spot. It's a possibility, but let's get these sorted. So all I need to do is add a little bit of ink around the edges. and they are white on the back. I haven't put anything else on the back of them. And because this isn't supposed to be a vintage looking kit, I'm probably not going to put anything on the back of them either. I quite like them to be white. I mean, as I say, I print on 160 GSM, so it is much more sturdy than paper. It's not quite a cardstock, but it's a thick paper. So they have got some flexibility to them, but they are obviously quite stiff, so it's not as floppy as paper. I've also got some little tabs that I'm just going to add a little bit of ink to as well, because I'm either going to add them to the top of the tags or to the house. And the last one. Okay, so now to decide what tabs we're having where. So I've got obviously the well tab for the large journaling card. So I'm thinking I might use a well tab for the house. Just need to decide which one goes the best. I think I quite like that one actually because it's got the flower. So yeah, that one's going to go on there. I'm just going to line it up roughly where I believe the middle is. Something like that. Right, so while that dries a moment, I need some tabs to go on here. So I've got these tabs. I've got another whale tail tab, but I'm thinking I might use these. So I'm going to use the wood for the top of this one. Okay, again, going to let that dry. Just make sure that it's even straight. That glue does dry fast. It's already quite stiff to move. Okay, that's good though. Okay, and we've got this one to go on here. Okay, and then where it goes over the edge ever so slightly on the angle, I'm just going to snip and snip, snip. Right, okay, so now I'm just going to put an eyelet in the top of each of those, and then I need to grab some ribbons or something just so we can obviously decorate the top of those. So I have got these kind of orangey ones, which is quite nice. So I think I'm going to have an orange for the house, and then a couple of rose gold ones, or one rose gold, one actually gold. Okay, so let's do Which way round do we want that? Yeah, okay, so and the last one. Okay, so this one I was going to use the peach one on. This one I was going to use the rose gold. And the last one. Okay, right, so got those three, and obviously that one on the back. So what I need to do is just get some ribbons or something that I can put inside each of those. Okay, so I've recently been gifted a load of eyelash trim. So this great big ball is from my friend Liz. So thank you very much, Liz, because that's a lovely, lovely, gorgeous colour. It's so soft. Really, really nice. And then I had these as well as Happy Mail. So I thought they're lovely colours that go brilliantly. So I am thinking that this one, if I can find the end. Is that an end? I think that's the end. Right, okay, there's the end. So let's cut a couple of those. 1 and 2. So I'm thinking they're going to be for the journaling cards. So I'm kind of doubling it up just so it's a little bit bigger. Right, bringing it through. Where's my 2 hoops? There they are. Okay, and that comes through there. I do just need to trim that slightly. That's a bit better. Okay, so we've got that one, which is going to go in the back. And then on this side, I wanted that again, but this time at the top. Okay, so there's my house journaling card. So that's going to go in that main pocket there. Awesome. I do love that house. I think that's brilliant. Okay, so then we've got these 2 tags. That sweet little dog is gorgeous too. Let's have a look. So we've obviously got the yellows from the umbrella. So I think I'll use the yellow here too. It's quite tricky working with eyelash trim, I think, because it's obviously got bits sticking out all over the place. Trying to thread it through. I'm not sure whether I've threaded the right bit through yet or not. Aha, right, okay, there we go. There we go. I'm actually going to pull it forward so it's dangling down rather than sticking up. So we've got that one to go in that pocket, and then this one, I thought I'd use these because they're similar colours to obviously what the two young girls are wearing. I'm going to do the same to this one. So I'm going to pull it forward so that the pieces of eyelash trim are dangling. Okay. So there we are. That's my stuffed paper bag. Now obviously I've got the main compartment still empty. That's because I've got an idea for something else that's going to go in there, which I will show you in a future video. But we have a nice pocket on the side. As I said, you could go further. You could perhaps use the ticket to create a belly band. Then you've got another space there to tuck bits in. And then, yeah, we've got all of these pockets. So we've got our tags and we've got our house journaling cards in there as well. So as I said, the challenges will be in the Line.arrow Facebook group. I will have everything linked down below. If you want to get your hands on the freebies to make these challenge items, they will be in the Line.arrow Facebook group or on my Kofi page if you either don't use Facebook or have trouble downloading from Facebook. So they'll be in my Kofi shop and, as I say, in the Line.arrow Facebook group. Please make sure that, again, when you are posting pictures of your make, you are using the hashtag #AutumnDays. That way, when I do the winners drawing at the end, I can find you easily because that's the hashtag that I'll be searching for, and then I'll count up all of the posts that have been made using that hashtag. I really hope that you like this challenge and that you enjoy having a go yourself. As I said, you can use an actual paper bag. I just decided to use my own using the digitals that I supplied. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.